What's up, you all? What's up? What's up? It is Earl Jones, the host of the Earl Jones Show. What's poppin'? What's happened? What's crack-a-lackin'? And you all know the routine. Before we get into clicking like, clicking share, subscribing, the whole 9 yards, right? What is one thing that you are grateful for right now? On the day that you are watching this video, the very second that you are watching this video. Maybe what you're grateful for is the fact that when you took your kids with you to the store, you told them before you got out the car, now listen, when I get into the store with y'all, y'all gonna act right. Y'all not gonna touch nothing. You're not gonna ask me to buy you nothing because you're not getting nothing. And if I have to get with you in the store, you're gonna hate it. Do I make myself clear? And all you heard was yes, mama, or yes, daddy. And then when the kids got into the store, they were well behaved. They didn't act out of line. They didn't touch nothing. Not saying that my mother has ever told me those words herself, back in the day. Even now as an adult, parents, ooh, especially our black parents, ooh, yes. But anyway, so maybe that's what you're grateful for, that you didn't have to clown with your children in the store while you was at the grocery store or wherever it is what you were shopping at, right? Or maybe what you're grateful for is the fact that you can see this video, you can hear this video, and you can smell whatever it is around you, right? You got something to give thanks for and to be grateful for right now. So what is it? You can drop it in the comment section below, or whatever it is, I want you to hold on to it while I talk to you about what I had a conversation with one of my girlfriends, one of my friends, about one of her friends in regards to a car accident. And so turns out that my friend, Darlene is her name. Now, y'all know I changed the names, and y'all know that when I get these stories, I change it up just a little bit. I keep the essence of the story, right? But I change it up because God knows I don't want folks talking about, well, Earl is out there talking about me. Baby, if what I say sounds like your circumstances, it's just a coincidence. Just like when you watch TV and it says based upon a true story, this is all based upon a true story. All right. So Darlene and I the other day, I don't know how, we were just talking. We were shooting the 411, catching up on who shot who and who drop kicked who, the whole 9 yards. Like, she was giving me some really good juiciness about what was going on back, where she's at. And I was like, oh, well, praise Martha Stewart, girl. Like, I don't know half the people that she's talking about anyway, but it's good to catch up, right? So that's the other reason why I changed the name too, because if she watched this video, she can't say that I said that about her, because I was like, no, I was talking about Darlene, not you. But anyway, so she was telling me about that, and I was telling her what was going on in my life and all this good stuff and all that. And somehow, some way, we got to talking about auto insurance, because she said that her girlfriend, Barbara, who she went to school with, unfortunately, Barbara's mom had passed away, not due to COVID. She had cancer or something like that. And I was like, oh, please give Barbara my condolences. She was like, yeah, but I want to talk to you about, like, Barbara's car accident. I was like, why would we talk about Barbara's car accident? Well, because it's got me thinking about my own auto insurance. I was like, girl, you got an agent, right? Yeah, but she was like, she's just like, can I just talk to you about it? I was like, well, we done talked about everything else, in 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and just add this to the conversation. So so my girlfriend, Darlene, was telling me that Barbara was driving, minding her own business, and then she got T-boned by another car. And according to Darlene, that woman's name is Shirley. I guess Shirley finally came out of that paper bag and she got Barbara because she T-boned her. And I said, please tell me that Barbara is okay. And she said, Barbara's not exactly okay. Like, she's been in the hospital and out of the hospital. She's had multiple surgeries, and she's not been able to hold down a job since the car accident. She's been through a lot of different jobs. She barely graduated from school because, and I said, well, wow, how long ago did this happen? She was like, oh, Barbara got hit about 2-3 years ago, and she is still fighting with her auto insurance company to pay up. I said, what? I said, let me guess. I said, Darlene, let me guess. Shirley did not have auto insurance. she was like, "Ooh, are you psychic?" I was like, "No, that 1-900 number, has been canceled by the FTC." She was like, "Don't crack jokes." I was like, "This is not funny," because Shirley didn't have auto insurance, right? And you said Barbara's auto insurance is giving her the runaround, right? I said, "Let me ask you this question. Barbara only had liability insurance." She said, "I think so." I said that would primarily be the biggest reason why she would get the runaround if she, you know, because she got liability insurance and she got hurt. And it sounds like, from what you were telling me, she only had the state minimum liability only, and she didn't have any other types of coverages on that auto insurance policy. She said, "I think that's what she told me," but she said that her agent told her that if she got hurt into a car accident, and all this other stuff. I said, "Girl, it does not work that way at all." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Let me tell you something." I said, number one, most people in America should never ever buy liability auto insurance, period. If you don't have $10 million in your checking account or investments or in savings that you can tap into, you do not need liability insurance in the United States, period. She was like, "Why?" I said, number one, the auto insurance industry knows that the biggest expense, the biggest financial expense when it comes to a car accident, especially a T-bone, is the medical bills of the person that was hit, and also possibly the medical bills of the person who did the hitting. They're not like, the smallest portion of that claim is the cars, very small. In any car accident, the smallest portion of the claim, when there's bodily injury, when somebody is hurt or has to go to the emergency room or have to follow up with the doctor the next day, that accident has gone from pennies to now dollars. In some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, millions if it winds up going to court. She was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Yes." So when you get liability only auto insurance, you are literally telling the insurance company that you got the money to take care of your medical bills, to take care of your loss of income if you can't work. And I said, and let me guess, since Barbara's been in and out and can't hold down and keep a job because of the accident, the insurance, the doctors and everybody are coming after her for reimbursement for their bills. She said, "Yep." I said, "Girl." I said, she was like, "That's what I was trying to understand. Like, why would the insurance company not pay for her stuff?" I said, "It's just liability only." That means that Barbara would have had to been the one that T-boned Shirley in order for that policy to pay out a dime, right? Because it only covers in the event that you are responsible for the accident. The other reason why no American should have liability only auto insurance, a lot of states are now going to like joint or split responsibility for car accidents in an effort to try to minimize, lawsuits, right? So it's not always black and white when it comes to an auto accident claim. But if you only have liability only, and let's say you're here with me in California and the person that hit you, and let's say you're like at 40% fault, that means that your insurance company is not paying a dime. Zero. Doesn't matter if your car is totaled, doesn't matter if you broke an ankle, doesn't matter, not one iota, not one penny. And she was like, I was like, "You there?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm here." I was like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Nobody ever told me that when I bought my auto insurance." I said, "Why should they? You said that you wanted an auto insurance policy. They got you one based upon whatever budget you told them. They did their part legally. They're not required to break it down for you and explain to you like how all this stuff really works." She was like, "Oh." I said, "Yeah." So what Barbara is experiencing is the painful reality is that the wrong auto insurance will cost you more money on the back end than it will ever cost you on the front end. And I was like, do you know who she's with? She's like, no, I don't know. I said, I said, if anything, if an insurance agent told her that she would be covered, she really should, file a claim against that insurance agent, because that's not true. Liability auto insurance, honey, let me tell you, I tried hard to discourage people not to get it. I have people sign a letter stating that I've advised them not to get it, and I keep it on file, or I have them put it in an email so that way they fully understand. Because I tell them, if you are hit by somebody and you are hurt and they are at fault, you have no coverage. Boom, shaka. The only way that you have coverage is if you turn this around and make it a comprehensive liability, and have similar coverage that you have on your other cars. And they were like, nobody ever says that. I said, because primarily, yeah, they don't have to. They were like, he was like, oh. I was like, yeah. She's like, but her car was so old. I was like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how old the car is, Darlene. What matters is that, is there money to take care of you, the person that's driving the car? If you cannot go to work, if you have to continue to see a doctor, if you need x-rays, chiropractor, whatever, that's all that matters. Anything else? Damn a car. Because what good is the car if you can't even hold down a job? Because you can't sit or you can't stand for X period of times. I said, I pray that she's filing for disability. She was like, no, I don't think she can, because she still can work some. I was like, I literally pulled out my chapstick. I said, girl, hold on. I got to moisten my lips. I did. I was like, girl, hold on. Hold on. I said, well, honey, I said, the best that you can do is just make sure that your auto insurance is set up. Because what a lot of people don't know is that basically, out of 5 cars on the road, 2 don't have insurance. And the other, out of those 3 that do have insurance, you can rest assured 1 to 2 of those is not going to have more than the state minimums for, coverage, just so they can drive their car legally and not get a ticket for not having insurance. And she was like, I was like, yeah, you'd be amazed at how many people on the road in all 50 states do not carry sufficient auto insurance, because they've been conditioned to think, save money, price. They've not been conditioned to think about, well, what would happen if I'm hurt and the other person doesn't have insurance? Or if I'm hurt and I'm at fault for the accident, or I'm assigned partly at fault for the accident. If you have liability only coverage, doesn't matter, because you ain't getting nothing. And, she was like, so what should people have? I was like, frankly, people should have at least, in my opinion, 10 times their annual salary. If the annual salary for most Americans, average family of 4, is about $47,500, so at least $500,000 in liability coverage with matching uninsured, underinsured coverage to protect themselves. And then, I typically always recommend what people call full coverage, because I cannot account for, if the other person's going to have insurance or not. And I cannot account for whether or not my client is going to be assigned any type of fault for the car accident. So I always recommend max out your coverage, increase your deductibles, because you just honestly never know. She's like, oh my God. And I heard this click, and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I'm looking at changing my auto insurance. And she said, it's not that much more. I was like, no, you're probably going to pay about an extra 40, maybe $50 a month to have sufficient coverage to make sure that if something happens to you, regardless of fault, as long as you're not doing anything illegal, you got options. She's like, nobody's ever told me that. I said, well, now you know, because you have an Earl in your life. She's like, yes, I do. I was like, And she's like, what should I tell Barbara? I said, Barbara, if she doesn't have a lawyer, she's going to need a lawyer. And she's going to need to explore other legal options. But that insurance policy is not paying. She's like, Ain't nothing. I said, it doesn't even sound like she has medical coverage on the policy. What is medical coverage? That's where it would pay out some, some money, typically $1,000 to $25,000, depending on what state you're in and what company it's with, regardless of fault. No, I don't think she has that. She said she didn't get anything from the insurance company. She just said that all she got was told, so sorry about your accident, but unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do. And I was like, yeah, she just has basic, just flat out basic liability only. And Shirly, like I said before, I guess she finally came out of that paper bag and she went after Barbara, didn't she? She was like, Earl, you got that, just stop. I was like, hey. But I said, girl, I got to get off this phone. I got to walk into the store and return some stuff that I bought because it does not look like the photo of what I bought. She was like, boy, bye. But anyway, so I hope you guys got the message in that. Like, you're never going to save enough on the auto insurance premiums to ever compensate you for loss of income because you can't work, or the cost of going to the emergency room, or the cost of, continuing to see a doctor after the accident. No, nothing. And the other thing I hope that you guys get is that you don't know what the other person has in terms of auto insurance. So why are you putting yourself at risk of dependent upon a complete stranger when you don't even say hello to most of the people that you walk by? I'm just saying. Now, with that being said, you know the routine. Click like, click share, subscribe, so that way you get the notification, the ding or whatever it is that goes off when I upload a video, and share it with a friend and tag a friend, right? Let's help elevate our game so that we can, all be in a position to where when things go south, we have options. You'd be amazed at how many people don't. And it's always the way that the insurance system is set up. You are always going to lose when it comes time to claims if you do not have the right policy options in place. Always. It's just that's how it is. You're always going to lose. So with that being said, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching this video, and take care of yourselves. Bye.